Welcome back.
Well, the big overland canoe race is on. Boris and Natasha with a priceless mooseberry bush are fleeing just a few miles ahead of Rocky and Bullwinkle in their remodeled Leaky airplane. Starting at Frostbite Falls, Minnesota, the two vessels race through a couple of the largest Great Lakes.
Stroke, 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 bail, bail, bail.
Then as they ran out of water, they carried their canoes on a portage through Chicago.
Which way to Fort Wayne?
That way. Thanks. Oh, excuse me.
So did I. And a little while later, watchers of the Gold Cup powerboat race a couple of 100 miles away were awed when the #1 speedboat was overtaken by not one but two boats.
Stroke, 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 bail, bail, bail.
Hold it, Bullwinkle.
Boy, that was close. Almost bailed out the captain.
Hurry on.
That leak's gaining on me. We better get where we're going in a hurry.
We will if the wind holds out.
Bail, bail, bail. Stroke, stroke, stroke.
Boris.
Ah,
Boris, when is your half of paddling going to start?
don't worry, I'll do my half.
Now stroke, stroke,
I don't
stroke.
think he's
A short
gonna,
time later, at
guys.
the locks of the St. Lawrence Seaway, a bell rang to signal that a ship wanted to get through.
All right, but there ain't no ship there.
Stroke, stroke, stroke.
Say, a canoe full of Indians just went by here. I don't care if you believe it. I just saw.
Bail, 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 bail.
Never mind. This one I don't believe myself.
Soon the two vessels had run out of large bodies of water. They began to travel in small rivers or creeks, in irrigation ditches. Anywhere there was even a trace of water, they sailed on and on and on.
Wow.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Bail, bail,
Why is this
bail.
episode going?
Like riding on a soggy freeway, ain't it?
Crowds began to gather to watch them go by.
Here they come.
Stroke, 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 stroke. Bail, 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 bail.
They went through city parks,
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Bail, bail, bail.
they went through amusement parks,
Have a nice ride,
I'm
folks.
thinking,
I sure did.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Bail, bail, bail.
they even got through some places without carrying their boats.
Look out, Eddie.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Bail,
I'm
bail,
thinking
bail.
And finally, on one foggy evening as they approached Washington, D.C., only a few yards separated them.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Bail, bail, bail. Stroke, stroke. Bail, bail, stroke. There's quite an echo. Bail, stroke.
fail.
Bail, stroke.
So,
That's the first echo I ever heard that wrote its own dialogue.
Boris, when is your half of paddling going to start?
Any mile now, Natasha. I think they're right behind us.
Gee, it sure is foggy.
Yeah, can't see my nose in front of my face. Of course, that's quite a distance.
You hear that? It's the squirrel and moose. They mustn't catch us. Just then, Boris's canoe bumped into a warning sign. Straight ahead only, no left turn. Dangerous sawmill. Sawmill, eh? Now we play little word game with that sign.
What game is that?
You heard of Russian roulette?
Yes.
This is Russian Scrabble. And so when our heroes came to the sign, they turned left toward the sawmill. And a moment later, the stillness was broken by a hideous sound. Have our friends really run into more than they can handle? Don't miss our next episode, 2 for the Ripsaw or Goodbye, Mr. Chips. Well, it's been a rough canoe trip for Rocky and Bullwinkle, and it looks even rougher ahead. For in the fog, they sailed right into...
Hokey smoke a sawmill.
Hang
Whoa.
on, Rocky.
And as our heroes sat petrified, the whirling saw blade cut their frail craft right into... Fortunately, they were on opposite sides of the boat and escaped unscathed. But they were immediately seized by the sawmill machinery and became part of a soapbox assembly line.
Hey, let me out. You can't do this to me.
You know, Edward, I could swear them boxes was talking.
Now look, Chauncey, boxes is made of wooden nails, right?
Right,
Wooden nails cannot talk, right?
right,
Ergo, a soapbox cannot talk, right?
right.
Okay.
Okay, now explain it to him.
Hey, Bullwinkle, look at the address on the crate.
To Congressman Trumpleton Bun, Washington, D.C.
Yes, fortunately for our heroes, an election was coming up for Congressman Bunn, and he had ordered a shipment of soapboxes to make speeches from.
Hey, Congressman.
Great green gravy. It's the missing scientists, and you're back in one piece.
You were expecting maybe installments?
Meanwhile, a short distance away, a familiar canoe was shooting down the Potomac.
Stroke, stroke, stroke. Natasha, you poor little thing, you must be tired. Here, take megaphone. It's finally my turn to paddle.
About time to stroke.
What do you know? We're here.
Boris, you said you'd paddle half
and the two spies made their way to a lonely dock where a solitary figure gazed out over the ocean.
Oh, Captain Plopov. When leaves next submarine?
You didn't hear. Submarine is kaput.
Well, that showbiz. You got orders from Central Control?
You bet. They send these.
What are they?
Water wings. One of us must swim back.
Swim.
But who?
Well, let's do things fair with square. We'll draw straws for it. Long straw gets to swim. Okay? Okay. I'll take first one. Ooh, he's short. Natasha?
Oh, so sure.
Well, looks like you're it, Captain. Have a nice trip.
And the unlucky captain started on his 3,000
Oh.
mile swim.
Boris, darling, weren't you afraid you'd lose?
Not as long as I have telescoping straw.
Yeah, so let's buy boat ticket and go back home.
Buy ticket and go back home? Natasha, where is your pride, your professional integrity? We steal tickets and go back home.
Meanwhile, our heroes returned to their laboratory in something less than triumph.
Do you really think people are mad at us for losing the mooseberry?
Yeah.
Listen,
Sounds like feeding time at the zoo.
There's one of them!
Boy, they give us everything but another chance.
Huh.
What are we gonna do?
We just gotta think hard, Bullwinkle.
Oh, there must be an easier way than that.
And while our boys pondered their problem, the two spies in another part of the city were all set to get their return boat tickets from the Transocean Travel Agency.
that was quick, darling.
Of course, I always do business with Transocean.
And the two
Sometimes
spies
you get
hurried toward
caught
New
up.
York City, where a huge liner was getting ready to sail. Don't miss our next exciting episode. Farewell, my ugly, or knots to you. Well, our heroes certainly aren't feeling like heroes these days. For they lost the mooseberry bush, and with it their chance to rediscover their secret rocket fuel.
Gee, if we just
Uh-oh.
knew where there was another bush.
But we don't. We ain't moon men, you know.
Bullwinkle, that's it. The moon man.
Where?
I mean, they knew where there was another bush.
Hey, that's pretty smart.
Yeah,
I wish I'd
that's
thought of that.
You did.
Then how come you said it?
Come on, let's find them.
But when our friends called on the moon men at their New York apartment, they were gone, and nobody knew where.
Well, it was a good idea.
Yeah, even if I did think of it.
But just then, Rocky spotted a theatrical newspaper that gave them a clue to the moon men's whereabouts.
Moon man Sacco in lost wages.
Lunar takes 20G click at Sands.
What I suppose it means in English?
I don't know, I'll ask. Pardon me, what does that mean?
You kidding, Jack? Why are the biggest B.O. draws in showbiz? Floor them in Philly, pulverize them in podunk, they're sensation. Way out. In a word, boffo.
Thanks.
What's it mean?
He wouldn't tell me.
But eventually, our friends did find someone to translate the headlines for them.
According to our computer, your friends have a fairly successful show in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Las Vegas?
Sure enough, the moon men had gone into show business as a song and dance team.
Me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue, blue,
Well,
blue, blue.
that doesn't make sense.
Listen to that, Gibney. They love us.
Telephone, Mr. Cloyd.
Thanks. Okay, lay it on me.
Chloe, this is Rocky the flying squirrel.
Rocky doll, how are you?
Rocky doll?
It's been ages, sweetie. How you been keeping?
Gee, he sure sounds funny.
Let me talk to him. Hello there,
Bullwinkle, baby.
baby. I'm 6'2" with my stocking hoofs.
What? Can't hear a thing, lover. The applause is deafening. Here, kid, I'll quiet him down. And now, folks, a brief intermission.
And of course, as soon as Clyde fired his scrooch gun, the whole audience was frozen solid.
Well,
You went what?
Another mooseberry bush.
Oh, yes. Well, there is one other place.
Swell, let me write it down. Yes, yes.
Come on, Gibney. They're only scooched for a minute or so. Oh, we'd love to help you, Rocky, but we're booked solid for the next 3 years. Frankie asked us to follow Judy at the palace, you know.
There
they go. What are we giving, Clyde? Some real moon song. How about Shine On Harvesters? Oh, that's kooky. And 1 and 2 and shine on harvesters up in the sky.
So Gidney and Clyde resumed their theatrical careers, while a little later on a pier in New York City,
Where are we going, Rock?
There's only one other place on earth to find mooseberries, and we're going there.
Where's there?
A country called Pennsylvania.
and at that instant, just around the corner.
You got good tickets, darling.
Of course, anything worth stealing is worth stealing well. First class cabin. And then nobody better try stop us.
So the two spies are headed for the same place as our heroes, Spotsylvania. And what will happen if either of the parties spots the other? Don't miss our next episode, Cheerful Little Fearful, or Bon Voyage. Well, it seems that fate has taken a hand in the game of Mooseberry, Who's Got the Mooseberry? For Rocky and Bullwinkle and the two spies are all getting ready to sail to the same place, Spotsylvania.
Yeah, 'cause that's the only place in the world to get mooseberries.
But Boris and Natasha, posing as tourists, seem to be carrying coals to Newcastle, for they are taking a mooseberry bush to Spotsylvania. Or are they?
Sorry, Miss O'Brien. You can't take that aspidistra with you.
He's not aspidistra, he's a reed.
Shh, don't argue with me, Mikushla. Of course he's what he said. Why couldn't we take it?
Regulations. No plants can go abroad. We're on the lookout for a stolen mooseberry bush.
Well, maybe your sister can be plant seeder for
But
us.
I don't have...
This way.
Boris, what are we going to do?
I'll think of something.
Better hurry, look.
Sure enough, our heroes were headed right for them.
Quick, Natasha, put this on your head.
On my head?
Hurry. Okay, officer, we go on board now.
Now, just a minute, Mr. O'Brien. What's that?
That bigor is my wife's new hat. They get crazier every year, ain't?
Looks more like a bush to me.
Sir, you are criticizing my wife's taste?
Is that really a hat, lady?
Oh, you think I would wear anything this ridiculous if it wasn't a hat?
I guess not. Go ahead.
And the two spies left just as Rocky and Bullwinkle entered the room.
I could swear I'd seen those two somewhere before.
Anything to declare?
Yeah, I declare I've seen him too.
They're right behind us. What we do?
Get orders from Central Control, of course.
But how? Radio's packed in trunk.
You fool, Natasha. Luckily, Boris Bedenov is always ready for emergency. Meet Dmitri.
Dmitri?
His carrier pigeon.
But pigeon is too slow.
Oh, not this one. He's only jet pigeon in world.
And quickly, Boris wrote a note, attached it to the pigeon, and sent it on its way. Just a few moments later, Dmitri arrived at spy headquarters overseas and delivered Boris's message. But unfortunately, the jet speed had blown off all his feathers, and he couldn't make the return flight.
We must contact Badenov by radio.
So a moment later,
Calling Boris Badenov. Hello, Boris.
Who said that?
Radio in trunk.
Return with mooseberry bush.
Shh.
Bring bush to headquarters.
Quiet.
Anything the matter, sir?
Oh, yeah, Captain Pitch Fuzz. No, it's fine.
Make report to G1. What's that?
It's me. I'm ventriloquist. I throw my voice.
Use code 3. Say, that's great. I couldn't see your lips move at all.
Oh, it's naughty.
Make reports Tuesdays and Thursdays. You must join the ship's concert.
Glad to. Quick, Natasha, into the cabin.
and the spies dashed into their cabin just as Rocky and Bullwinkle started up the gangplank.
Well, we're off to Pennsylvania, Bullwinkle.
Yeah, nice of all these people to come see us off.
Hello, fearless leader. What we do about moose?
You sure you got secret ingredient?
Right here.
Good. Then for moose. You heard me?
Boris, look! Coming up gangplank is Moose and Squirrel.
What magnificent luck. Somebody down there likes me.
Sure enough, the gangplank went just past the spy's cabin, and in an instant, Boris had snipped the cables that held it up.
Look out, Bullwinkle!
And the gangplank plummeted down between the ship and the dock. On the bridge of the liner, Captain Peach Fuzz was all at sea.
Get them out of there before they're squashed.
It's just a little late for that. Oh, you beautiful doll, you great big beautiful doll.
And as the crowd watched horrified, the huge liner slowly swung closer and closer to the dock and nearer to squashing our heroes. Don't miss our next episode, Summer Squash, or He's Too Flat for Me.
Thanks for watching.